Namaste. My name is Shay Gautam, and today I'm at Toronto Danforth, an area in Toronto that's well known for food. Toronto is one of the most multicultural cities in the world, and the best thing about it is that I get to taste food from all over the world. Today I'm in front of Momo Hut and Gardens, where I will be talking to the two owners, Tashi and his beautiful wife, where I'll be getting a tutorial of how to make vegetarian momos. So let's go. So we are actually here at Momo Hut and Gardens with the two owners, so Tashi and Youngsum, and they're going to be teaching me how to make veggie momos today. So we have all of the ingredients on the table. Before we kind of get started, can you guys explain how you guys got started with this restaurant?
Yeah, sure. We actually got into the restaurant business back in 2000. We opened our first Tibetan restaurant in Parkdale High Park. Right now it's actually known as Little Tibet, so very proud to be part of that. That was back in 2000. So we had about a 13-year gap in between that because we have two daughters and we had to tend to them and look after their needs. But then after that gap, I decided to introduce the Tibetan food to the East End. So here we are in Danforth, Greek town. We're just celebrating our first year anniversary last month, so very, very happy to still be around. Getting great reviews. We feel very grateful to be here.
In terms of kind of what's on the menu and what are other things that are really notable at your restaurant?
We are specialists on momos, so we have like 10 veggie momos and one appetizer, which is called sweet klasa, which is made from apple and cinnamon. And from the veggie momos, we have I'll just say what we have, tsampa momo, which is like roasted barley and butter and sugar, and then shogo momo, which is potato and onion, and then we have a sweet shogongarmo, which is sweet potato and butter. And then we have a pingse, which is the one we have on the display. This is one of the, I wouldn't say most popular, but I'll say people order this a lot. So And then we have a cabbage, leek, and green onion, which is if you we all from Nepal and India, right? So if you say something from back home similar, so I'll suggest cabbage and carrot and leek that was similar to the taste back home. And then we have a beets, which is beets, avocado, and cauliflower. And then we have for the vegans, we have a kale with non-dairy cheese, and mushroom with paneer and soybean, and then butternut squash with broccoli and non-dairy cheese again. For the meat, we have 5 choices beef momo, chicken momo, pork momo, lamb momo, and shrimp momo.
Very excited. So can you tell me a little bit about the ingredients we have on the table?
The main ingredients is of course spinach, feta cheese, and vermicelli noodles. So what we do is with the spinach, what we do is we mix it, we grind it, we turn it into a juice. So what's special about our special vegetable momos is we try to use the juice from the actual vegetable or the plants or the fruits, and then use that juice instead of water when we're kneading the dough. So you have a nice color of particular vegetable, color coding, exactly. So of course the spinach, the covering or the outer shell would be a nice green color. So we have the spinach, which is made into a juice. Then we have our feta cheese. We add a little bit of our kosher salt. We have our vermicelli noodles, and we have our plant-based butter, and then that'll be all mixed together.
Okay. For the chicken, if you have a minced chicken, and then you have to dice the garlic really small, and then you have a green onion, and then you mix it all together, and then put a little bit salt to taste.
Okay. Sounds good. So can you kind of explain a little bit of the process of what we're going to do next? So I think you've cut some spinach here.
So we're trying to do the first spinach momo. So this is the vermicelli noodle, rice noodle, and you boil it. Once you boil it, then you cut it into small pieces,
Gets to be
yeah, soft and small pieces. And then you get the spinach, like washed, dried, and then you cut it into small pieces, similar like this one. So I'm trying to make a little spinach momo. The cutted spinach, I'll put it in here, a handful, and then the rice noodle. Yeah, and then I'll put a little bit like plant-based butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we're doing this, can you tell us a little bit about your background as well?
Yeah, sure. My background is Tibetan, of course. We came to Canada back in the early 70s.
Oh.
The port of entry to Canada was actually Montreal. We lived in Montreal for a few years. Then we moved to a small city called Belleville.
Yeah.
Lived there for a number of years.
Yeah.
Some great memories from back then. Then we moved to Toronto and called Toronto our home, and we made it really set some strong foundations here in Toronto now. Yeah.
For sure. And what about you? What's your background?
I was born in India.
Oh.
Yeah, and like I don't speak any Nepalese, but my mom is from Nepal and she can speak fluently Nepalese. I speak like alikati.
I like it.
Yeah. So I mix it all. So when you put the ratio, I will say the most is the vermicelli noodle, and then there's spinach, and then the feta cheese. So if you put too much feta cheese, it will be really soury, like feta taste. Yeah. So you want to look it like a greenish. So I put a little bit more spinach in here.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody want to try that? Do you want to taste it?
Sure.
If like.
I'll taste it.
Here you go.
Can I just put my hand in it?
Yeah, just grab a little.
Okay.
piece.
The salt
very
is
good.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect actually.
Right?
Yeah, it's really good. I want to keep eating now.
Okay. And if you have a children, they like to eat like this one too, and it's really healthy too. Like instead of like making it into momos, yeah.
Yeah.
So mixture is done, and I'm going to. We already prepared the dough.
So we're gonna be
So I'm
wrapping it now.
Yes, I'm going to make it. Sorry, like I have to make it without my glove, the momo, because it's really hard to make it with the glove on. So like my hand is clean, washed.
Perfect. I'm gonna learn how to make this too.
So you take like a dough, right?
Yeah.
And then you take a spoonful. Yeah.
Here we can. Do you want to maybe move that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can just
Go, right?
Talent.
So, so in the momos, like there's lots of design, there's a one which is like back home when I was growing up. When you see momo, I can see only two design. One is the circle one like that. One is the moon shape.
Right.
And this is the one. This is the other one which is more like soup momo. You call it soup momo.
Like where it's in the middle.
Yes,
Right,
it's like bread.
Yeah.
Like when you
Yeah.
So like
I wanna learn this,
yeah.
okay.
So you go like this and
Yeah.
then pinch on the side, right? And with this finger you put the ingredient, press it down, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see any. Of
Oh, you
that.
didn't see it?
I don't know. I can't replicate it
Really?
at all.
Okay.
But let's
Yeah,
try.
here you go.
Oh,
So you see, this is just like our
like a
hair.
leaf.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah. So like for our momos, for veggie momos, all the design is like handmade like this.
Yeah,
You
alright.
pinch on the top,
Pinch on
right?
the
And
top.
then one like here,
Oh,
one
keep
here.
pinching.
Yeah, keep pinching on each side. And then with the thumb, you press the ingredient down,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then go until it's finished.
Okay. I have a feeling it's going to be much harder than that looked. But let's try it. I'm going to try making one. Let's see. Here, I'm
Yeah,
going to give you
hold it for
this.
you. Yeah.
All right. Ah, I'm scared. All right. So pinch
So yeah, with the yeah.
and then keep pinching.
Yeah, keep pinching from each side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then with this arm, yeah, push the ingredient down. Yeah, and come up.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this does not look nice. This looks
Doing
really
great for
bad.
first time.
I always wanted to learn how to make this
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, push it down. Yeah, yes, and then come from each side. Yeah.
Oh.
Doing good.
Yay! Did I pass?
Yeah.
You also passed. Okay.
Oh.
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
Okay, definitely doesn't look as nice as
Remember I
yours.
told you, like, for
That's
the
not that
dumpling.
bad for your first
It's
time.
it's pretty. How is yours going inside?
Oh, because remember, like.
Oh, I didn't
when
do
you
that
press
part.
It, yeah.
Yep.
No, the first time is really good.
We tried.
Good,
Yeah.
that's really
Like this can be another Momo design you invented.
Yeah. You guys take feedback from your customers, right? This is a new one you can do.
Feedback is important.
Well, perfect. So what happens after this?
Okay, so after this, we're going to steam it. So I'm going to get a steamer.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Sounds good. Do you make the momos as well?
Not that good. I
more-
try. I only help when it's necessary.
Yeah.
When it's really necessary. But yeah, I leave these textures. It's definitely it's an art form. It takes a lot of practice, getting the right amount of ingredients. Because when you're making it, we actually make these momos just like we do at home, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to, when you're owning a restaurant, everything has to be measured. Have to be how many teaspoons, how many. But we actually do it with just by eye and feel, right?
Yeah.
So when you put it in, it has to be the perfect amount. Green onion, white onion, and then chicken.
Right. Okay.
And no coriander, no.
So what about like spices? Like what do you add to this?
We use a little black pepper, and then we use the salt.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't add any other spices at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because like I believe the momo should taste like onion, the momo
should
flavor.
taste the
Yeah.
vegetables. Yeah.
Like it's like
Not the
back
spices.
back home you can get some this now in India, like momo is really popular. I would say like last March I went to India to visit my grandmother.
Right.
And when I went there, every corner Indian people are selling momos on the
Momos,
street.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
street food, right?
Yeah.
So I tried a couple of the momos. They have too much masalas in there, so
Right.
which not good for me,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How momos have changed around the world
Yeah.
as well.
And I'll say most of our here momos we put health first. You
Yeah.
know, like when I have to invent the veggie momos, I have to think about not just any ingredient I can grab it. I have to look in the supermarket and look all the vegetables,
Right.
especially the veggie ones, and I think okay. First, it's good for us, right? Then which will go good combination with which. So all these
Right.
momos,
So it's
I have to
health
try.
first.
Yeah, health first, and then we have lots of low sodium. In Momo Hut, we use really low sodium. So sometimes you will think oh, there's no salt,
Yeah.
but then that's because we think our health first,
Yeah.
But then we have lots of soy sauce on the side, and then we have a sauce on the salt on the side if you want to add it more,
Right.
Yeah.
So normally when you come here, so I saw that you had soup at the beginning that you
Yes,
give.
yes, yeah. So we with a momo, it's just like back home, Back home, when you go to a restaurant, or at home when you make momos, for the meat. Back home you have to chop everything, right? We
Right.
don't have like that. You go to shop and get a minced beef. No,
Yeah.
you have to get a meat. So with that bone, you get the meat. We make a soup for the
Right.
momo. So then you get a soup, and then momo.
Right.
So it's like a combination,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really try to be authentic.
Yes, we try to stay authentic. So on one of our momo here, which is Champa momo, which is I'll say is authentic Tibetan food.
Right.
In Tibet, still they serve that one, but that's the ingredient is our champa. Hope you guys know what champa is. That's
No,
Tibetan
what's
main barley, roasted barley.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's roasted barley, and then they put cheese, and then they put butter
Okay.
and sugar.
So can you tell me a little bit about what
Oh.
you're putting on the table here?
So these are the sauces or condiments that come along with the momos. So this sauce here is very, very mild. Actually, it's not spicy or anything. Kids actually love this.
Yeah.
It's just lots of tomatoes and lots of garlic that we use on here. and red onions. This is our homemade hot sauce. It's charred. So basically the process of this one is we actually have to burn it.
Right.
So it gives it a nice smoky flavor.
Right.
And this one, we use the same type of chili peppers. We devein it and then dehydrate it. Then this one, you'll have hints of parsley and mint.
Okay.
And this is, of course, our soy sauce that'll add a little bit of the sodium if the other sodium that's already, or the salt that's in it is not enough for you. And then these two are great for mixing. And then adding this will tone it down.
Yes.
So 3 chicken momos, so you can have 1 each.
Yes.
And 1 spinach momo each. Yeah. So when you steam the momo, like make sure they're not touching each other, otherwise it won't cook
gets
on the
stuck.
side. Yeah, stuck. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to close it. Let's go to the steamer. Water is boiling. Yeah. Then I'll put the momo on top. Yep. And then we put a timer. Okay. Yeah. So this is a momo steamer. So in this one you can cook like 5 momos, right? So make sure the water is boiling. Then once water is boiled, you put the steamer on. And then for the veggie momo, you put 7 minutes. And for the meat momo, put 8 minutes.
Tashi, tell me a little bit about this contraption that you created.
Well, I kind of invented this steamer.
Yeah.
One of the main things to cook our momos is it's steam cooked. So one of the first thing is we're always the way we used to do it back when we had the restaurant back at home was we did it the old-fashioned way. You get the regular pot, put the water in, and then wait till it boils, and then you put the steamers or the momos on top. Well, we kept running out of water, especially if you're doing large volume. You can't. It's just not practical to keep putting in more water, and it brings the temperature down. So there's a lot of small details that I really had to think about. So I did some test runs. I got myself a huge pot. I made a steel plate at the top with some holes on it, and we made some momos at home in the backyard. And I saw and I was trying to see how this is going to steam or how it's going to work. And it actually worked well, not great, but well. So I knew that I could, if I fine-tuned it a little bit and spoke with the right manufacturers, and they will actually be able to build me a proper stove.
Wow.
So after all of the research that I did and everything, this is the best design that we came up with. Basically, this is like 10 stoves on one stove here.
Yeah.
So each hole can actually be a steamer on its own. So I specifically made the holes to fit each of the 2 sizes of the steamers that we have.
Right.
We have a large steamer that does 1 full plate. Yeah. So we have this steamer here, which has the larger one that'll do 1 complete full steam, full plate, I should say. That'll hold 10 pieces, no problem. And then we have a smaller one. That'll do our half plates. What's unique about our Momo Hut is we actually sell our momos in half plates also.
Right.
Because we have over 14 varieties of momos, and it's very hard for people to eat all at once at one time.
Right.
So with the half plates, it worked out very, very great because vegetarians now can have up to like 2 or 4 different types of vegetables in one sitting. And of course, the meat lovers, they have a choice of those 5 meats, and they can also have half plates. So it worked out very, very well. But the steamer definitely, what was beautiful about this is it took care of the need of the water. So we have a tap that's already attached right onto the stove itself.
Right.
You just remove one of the covers. So while this one is being heated or being cooled down because of the new water, I can turn on this stove and have continuous steamed water, steaming, boiling water, so it won't affect our process.
So my momo is ready. Take a look. All right, let's try. The one that I made doesn't look as bad as anymore now that it's cooked. Oh, it's stuck. Oh my gosh, so good. Perfect. So I want to thank Buddhi, Sagar, Pradeep, Youngsum, and Tashi for joining me today. Please subscribe for more videos such as these.